Welcome, everybody. Good evening, everybody, to the Noble Manhattan USA East Coast Coaching Support Group meeting. We do this once a month where we have a presenter to present on a topic about personal development or coaching that is beneficial for all of us. And so I'm going to just explain a little bit about the group, trying to advance the slides. So I want to especially welcome all the people that signed up that came from Hippocrates online course and any other Noble Manhattan coaches and any other coaches, regardless of what company you're with, as well as coach students and people that are just interested, that are here today, that are interested in personal development. So the agenda basically is simple. I'm going to just make a couple introductions. And then we're going to hand it over to Betska. She is going to do her presentation. I'm very excited having her here. She's a vegan, so she fits in with the Hippocrates lifestyle. And she has a very interesting topic that's very deep ingrained and part of the coaching process. So I really look forward to having her here today. Once she's done with the presentation, we're going to do a Q&A for about 10-15 minutes. And after the Q&A, we're going to take a 1-minute break, and then we're going to go into breakout rooms. And breakout rooms is where the magic kind of happens. So if you have never done this before, I really invite you to stay and make some new friends. So the breakout rooms, there's going to be 4 or 5 people in the breakout room. It's going to be confidential. Nothing is recorded there. And you'll be talking about the session and your takeaway from that. And so Petra is going to explain about that a little bit more later. And now I just wanted to introduce our coaching support team. And so let me first introduce myself. My name is Beatrice Phillips, and I'm the president of the Noble Manhattan USA East Coast Coaching Support Group, long name, and also the co-founder of PBC Global, as well as Petra Butler, co-founder of PBC Global. We have Maria Tatum, who has her own coaching company. We are all Hippocrates lifestyle medicine coaches, by the way, as well as Michael Vasquez from Hippocrates, also Hippocrates lifestyle medicine coach. And these are all your supporting coaches today. And then we want to welcome and thank our ambassadors, Emily Thompson, who is also a coach with Noble Manhattan, and Glenn Phillips and Susan Chester, which are actually coachees that have been coached before. And I just wanted to point out on the bottom of the screen, you see like a little button, there's an icon for reactions. So you can give a clap or a thumbs up. As you notice, there's no thumbs down. So we're not gonna invite you to do that. We only wanna see good stuff, and we wanna have fun in the group, that's for sure. So just a little bit about Noble Manhattan. Noble Manhattan was founded in 1993 by our fearless leader, Gerard O'Donovan, and CEO. So he's in, the mothership is in London in the UK, and we're not gonna rise him at this time. Maybe when he's in the US sometime, we can catch him to do a presentation. However, Noble Manhattan has grown and is now in over 29 countries. And one of those countries is the USA, and this is where we are, an arm of Noble Manhattan USA. And Noble Manhattan has trained over 25,000 coaches worldwide. Now, I'm not here to sell you anything on Noble Manhattan or coaching. We are just providing the coaching support group so you can get a taster of what coaching is like. And if you're interested to find out more about Noble Manhattan coaching or the Hippocrates lifestyle, you are welcome to either connect with us on the Hippocrates online Facebook page or via our Noble Manhattan coaching support group Facebook page or LinkedIn page. And that's how you can get in touch with us. And what's the purpose of the group? It's very simple. We are here to support and uplift each other. And we're doing this through coaching. When this whole pandemic happened, it felt like I got the rug pulled out under my feet. And I'm sure a lot of people experienced the same feeling. And as things were falling to pieces and we're now picking them back up and we're trying to glue and piece things back together, we're seeing the little cracks, we're noticing the little pieces that are missing. And we have these thoughts, there's fear, there is worry, there is this uncertainty. And so coaching is a fantastic tool to help us to get over those feelings, those tricks that our mind is playing with us. And Betska she's been doing this for a long time. She's gonna do a great job explaining how our minds work for us. And so at this point, I'm gonna hand it over to Petra. If you could please welcome and introduce Betska from here.
Okay. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. Pleasure to be here tonight with all of you. My name is Petra Butler, as Beatrice mentioned, and I'm pleased to have the opportunity to introduce our guest speaker today, Betska K-Burr, also known as the Guru Coach. Betska is an accredited master coach and professional speaker with 25 plus years of coaching experience. For 2 years running, 2019 and 2020, Betska has been named one of the top management consultants in the world by CEO Today magazine. Congratulations. Betska is a co-president at Coaching and Leadership International, Inc. She is the developer of 80 plus award-winning coaching and leadership methodologies called the Science of Mind Kinetics Coaching System. As a professional trainer, she leads the instructor team at the CLI International School, where individuals learn how to self-coach and coach others. Betska enjoys her work as an international trainer, consultant, professional speaker, executive and life coach, and confident to individuals and groups in 50 plus countries and 5 continents. Publications include several books, including Creating Champions, Flying by the Seat of Your Plans, Build a Booming Business, and The God in Coaching, The Key to a Happy Life. Her articles as a guest columnist for Business World magazine invite us to engage in activities to find that peace we all seek and deserve in nowadays world. Other business awards include 2003 and 2007 awards for innovation, 2009 Lifetime Achievement Award, and 2010 the Pride of HR Professional Award from Mumbai, India. Betska enjoys her life with her husband, John, and daughter, Tanya. She's an avid gardener, loves to hike and bike and create healthy vegan food for her family, and has an undeniable weakness for dark chocolate. So finally, I just want to say Betska is also just a fascinating person, and we are all in for a treat today. Just as a side note, that we will have designated question and answer sessions after Betska's presentation, which will be led by Dr. Maria Tatum and Michael Vasco from the CSG East team as well. This will be handled over chat, so please ask any questions you might have over the chat, and Maria and Michael will be able to direct them to Betska and to have it more coordinated. So without further any ado, please join me welcoming Betska K-Burr. And now I'm going to hand it over to you, Betska.
Thank you. Share my screen. There we go. Can everybody see my slides here? Yeah? Awesome. That's great. Well, thank you, Petra. Delightful introduction. And thank you, Bea, for inviting me. And I've known Gerard, by the way, Gerard O'Donovan, for, gosh, I don't know, like 10, 12 years. We worked together. I was one of the directors at the International Authority for Professional Coaching and Mentoring, where I have my accredited master coach. And yeah, so years and years and years of working with him and knowing what he does. And I'm sure there's a mutual respect there. So today is about train your brain, find fast solutions. Thank you, Bea, for giving us that title. Here we are. This is my husband and I. We are kayaking. We live on Vancouver Island, Canada. And we're trying to compete with Bea's picture behind her because she's got that gorgeous ocean view. And yeah, we just love to kayak on the beautiful waters of Vancouver Island. So I'm very excited. I'm I deeply respect your time and commitment to be here, and thank you to all of those who are listening to the recording. What I want to share today is some real content for real application in your life and work. And 25 years of focused research. I can tell you that what I'm going to be presenting here today is what I wish I had known 25 years ago. Most of you don't have as many wrinkles as I do, so you're a lot younger than I am. So I am hoping that, I'm praying that a lot of the material I'm presenting today is really going to support you in your life, again, at work and at home. How did I learn to train my brain to find fast solutions? Clearly, if I can speak about it, I must have trained my brain to do it. Well, I'd like to share my story. And just a cautionary note, some of you may find the story to be sensitive. In the early 90s, I became bankrupt on all levels. And this is how I felt. I probably looked like this guy if I was to ask my husband, John, except I'm a female, not a male. But I was in bad shape, bankrupt on all levels, except financially, thank God. I had everything. I had a fancy job, fancy cars, fancy house, fancy clothes. But after the birth of our daughter, something happened. And yes, I was pulling my hair out. My back was so sore, I had trouble getting out of a chair. You know, lower back, really bad. And my brain was foggy. I was sad, you know, depressed. I was let go from my job. Wow, that hit the ego. And I didn't feel supported by my husband, by my mother, by my siblings. And I did not feel supported by God. And that's a yikes, you know, when we don't feel supported by our higher power, something is really seriously going on. So it was a big deal for me. And after tons of tests, and I mean tons of tests, my doctor said, and I quote, "There's nothing wrong with you." So I looked at her and I said, "So what the heck is going on?" And she said, "Well, it's probably stress." And she tried to hook me up with a therapist, and that just didn't seem to work for me at the time. So my question was, is this a spiritual awakening, or am I just plain crazy? What was really going on for me? This lady, I always have a laugh at when I look at her outfit, because it's something from the 60s and 70s, right? Like a real hippie. And the truth is that it was a spiritual awakening. And I didn't know that for years until, you know, now that I look back, I realize what it was. Well, these two saints had the answers for me. The Dalai Lama, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, says, our own brain, our own heart is our temple. So we should know how to use both the heart and the brain. And then Supreme Master Ching Hai, who is my spiritual teacher, said, our mind we must create. Let's think about that. Our mind we must create. We must speak good things, think good things, and then we'll change the negative to the positive. And then she said, we should teach the cells in our own bodies to think good thoughts. Wow, okay. So my next question was, well, how do I train my brain and my cells to think good thoughts, to find solutions fast? Because I was drowning in negativity, unable to help myself. And I literally tried everything that was available, whatever money could buy, I tried, and nothing was helping. In retrospect, these challenges were a huge blessing, because once I taught myself how to do it, I just kept developing and developing more and more tools. There are now 120 of them that are for self-coaching. And before long, others asked me to teach them. There are many funny stories around that maybe I'll have a chance to share with you one day. And then the rest is history, as they say. Have you ever heard that saying, I don't fix problems, I fix my thinking, and then my problems fix themselves? Just like we wash our clothes, we can indeed wash our thoughts. We can indeed wash our thoughts. So that's what I began to do. I started my healing journey. I learned some early tools from another incredible saint, you know, in the same league as the Dalai Lama and Supreme Master Ching Hai. Her name was Jan Sweeney. She's long gone to heaven, but wow, she really helped me a lot. She was very clear. You know what she said? She said, Betska, you need to dig out your fears. Dig out the ones you don't know you have. In other words, go into that subconscious mind. Go into the unconscious. Discover your negative beliefs that you don't know you have, because they were the ones causing me grief. Again, I had to go into that unconscious mind. I had to heal the abuse that I had had from my childhood, emotional, sexual, intellectual abuse that not only happened in my childhood, but continued on when I was in the corporate world. And then when I started my own company, there was still more abuse because I was a female leader in a man's world. And it still continues today. You know, we still live in what people might call a man's world. And us women, we are doing a lot to get to the top and to get noticed and so on. And so I'm very grateful to all these awards because they help our students and they help my clients to really understand what is happening in the behavioral science world. Because CEO Today said that I was the first person in the world to create tools for permanent positive change, that give permanent positive change every single session. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. That's pretty exciting, right? And then she said, you need to, Jan, getting back to Jan, she said, you need to uncover all those latent positive traits and strengthen them. So you can look at this slide and you think, oh, easier said than done, right? How do I get into that unconscious mind of mine? Well, when my husband and daughter were in bed, every evening I would self-coach using the tools that Jan taught me. And she only taught me about 3 at the time. And now, remember, I've developed about 120 of them. But somehow I knew that this was the key to my healing. I was determined to heal my heart because it had shut down. Literally, I didn't know how to love myself. I didn't know how to give love to others. And I had difficulty receiving love from others. Thank God I married a guy who became another one of my teachers. John is just a fabulous husband. Mr. Support, we call him. In those evening times, quiet in my little office, I was determined to learn how to get rid of my fears, to get rid of my negative thoughts, to love myself and love others the way they deserve to be loved, including our young daughter. Because I didn't receive love as a child, I didn't know how to give her love. Oh my God, you can imagine that was breaking my heart, right? But through these early beginning subconscious tools, I was able to do just that. Learn how to love myself and love others. And in 3.5 months, my back pain disappeared. And my brain fog was gone. And then over the years, I've been able to continue working on my subconscious mind. And I'm really glad I did. It's a wonderful place to be. So bottom line is I survived. Wish I had this lady's body, but I'm married for 31 years to my husband, John. As Pedro said, we have a beautiful, sweet daughter, and I've won those awards. I'm just having some candy here for my throat. Clients in 50 countries. The science of mind kinetics has been featured on Supreme Master Television. They called me up and said, can we feature your science? They developed 2 TV shows on it, broadcast in 14 different languages. I meditate under a fully enlightened master for 2.5 hours every day. I'm at peace and I am happy. And what I'm really grateful for is I have all of these tools to kick out my stuff. So I say to my clients and my students, if I can do it, you can do it, right? Anybody can do it. No matter what's going on in your life, you can find solutions just like that. I know it sounds unbelievable, but I will show you. So this is what I've learned and what I'm passing along to you today, just in case you can benefit as well. The 5 secrets to training your brain to create a more positive world for yourself. My world was a mess. Again, if we had more time, or you can read about it in my book, which I'll share with you later, that whole story, it's really quite something. How to identify and remove self-defeating thoughts. I will share how I did it and give you some tools. and maybe they'll also help you. The tools are the key, because we can say to ourselves, okay, I want to think positively. And then before you know it, a negative thought comes in. Well, how are you going to switch that off? How are you going to turn that negative thought into a positive one? Tools are the key. And then I'm going to share the skills, positive self-beliefs, and steps to confidently and courageously be the driver of positive change and growth for yourself and for the people that you love and for your clients, right? Your family, your friends. Tools to be able to greet and meet every problem, roadblock, or challenge. And then take away the secret to building stronger relationships at work and at home. So how does that sound? Does that sound exciting to you? I hope so. Okay, let's take poll number 1. We've got 3 polls to happen here. So what do you need the most? Maybe more faith and confidence in yourself, to love yourself more, maybe to love others more, to heal your own traumas, big or little. Maybe you want to feel more peaceful. Maybe you want to get rid of your fears. I've done so much group coaching work with people from 5 different countries in the last few months, because they have all of these fears, what COVID is going to do, and apparently there's a new virus coming in December, and what's going to happen to my business, and am I going to lose my loved ones? Oh my God, it's just amazing. So please vote. What do you need the most? And then there's that other category. Maybe there's something else you want to. So click on the other if that's what if you feel it's in that other category. So leading the pack so far is having more faith and confidence in myself to love myself more. Okay, awesome. And then 20% were wanting to heal their traumas. Do you know that in Canada, I don't know what it's like in the US. I haven't done, well, I did do a check, but I can't remember the actual percentages, but 40% of all women in Canada have been abused in some way or other. And for men, it's not too far behind as well. So, you know, we've got some issues here, right? And more faith is 60%. Okay, great. Thank you. So let's continue to move on. I just made a note of that, and let's see what we can do with all that information. So with new positive beliefs in yourself, some solid tools to kick out your fears and negative thoughts, how is this going to make you feel? I don't even need to ask you that. You know, it's going to feel so uplifted that the 60% of you who wanted to have more faith and confidence in yourself, that you are going to rise up like these balloons and feel colorful like these balloons, and that you've healed your traumas and so on and so forth. It's a no-brainer. We actually change our frequency as an individual. We all have a frequency based on our spiritual bank account. If we have a very positive spiritual bank account, a lot of high positive beliefs, then our spiritual bank account is high. But if we have a lot of negative beliefs about ourselves, our negative bank account is high. What we want to do is get rid of those negative beliefs and raise our positive beliefs about ourselves so that we feel more peaceful. Yep, that's the way it works. Okay, so I'm beginning to introduce the 5 secrets that I promised to you to train your brain to quickly find solutions to life's challenges and be that driver of positive change and growth for yourself and others. But we need to start by understanding how the brain, mind, and cells work. I'm not going to give you a whole scientific explanation of receptors and electromagnetic fields sitting on cells, etc. No, that, you know, maybe we can save that for another day. I wanted to give you some very specific tools that you could use today to be that driver of positive change. But I am going to give you a little bit about the subconscious mind and so on and so forth. So let's do that. The secret number 1 is to activate whole brain mind thinking. We call that pentalateral thinking. When I did the research many years ago, I couldn't find a name, a word to use, so I had to develop the word. Pentalateral is my own makeup. I don't think you'll find it in Webster's or any of the dictionaries. We are the most powerful when we use our whole brain for best decision making. You know, in the business world, we tend to use more of our left brain. That's our IQ, our knowledge brain, where we do a lot of analytical thinking, sequencing of projects. And then the right brain is our EQ, our wisdom, where innovation, solutions, emotions, intuition, and it's our connection to spirit. And yes, my research does say that sometimes it's flipped. We call that transposed hemispheres. Sometimes the cells that are in charge of our EQ are in the left hemisphere and vice versa. And sometimes we have people, we do testing, by the way, just to find this out. It's really fascinating that the IQ and EQ skills are either in just the left brain or the right hemisphere. It's so fascinating. And sometimes after we've done some processes, they'll go back to what we might classify as normal, and what you see on the screen here today. But life is easier when we access our whole brain mind. Well, what the heck does that mean? What is pentalateral thinking? It means that in every self-coaching session, or if I am coaching others, right, they are using pentalateral thinking. They're using their left brain, their right brain, so their conscious mind, clearly, and their subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is where our habits, our patterns, and our beliefs are stored, negative and positive. And our superconscious mind is our genius self, our innovative solutions, our God self, if you want to use a spiritual term, and source, our connection to source. We know from all of our research, some of you may have studied Dr. Bruce Lipton, a giant in the cell biology field, and I have studied with him, gave him a copy of my latest book. And we know that 95 to 99% of our behaviors are operated by that subconscious mind. So we need to know what's in there. So the tools I'm giving you today, these free tools, will help you access all 5 parts of the brain mind for whole brain mind solutions, not just this left brain stuff, because that's just the logical, right? We want to bring in the logic and the heart space. So why is pentalateral thinking so important? How are you going to benefit? You're going to think faster. My clients, our students, they can switch fast very quickly between their left brain and their right brain. They're just like on fire because they have trained their brain to do that. You will solve problems faster. You'll have faster access to intuition. So those of you who are coaches here, you're going to notice it, once you start doing this work, that your access to your intuition, which is your superconscious, is going to be much, much faster. And the more you do it, the more you're going to access that intuition for really awesome questions. And if you're a professional of other types, because I know we have all types of people here, if you're a professional, if you're a doctor or a therapist or whatever, you'll be able to access those incredible questions that you want to ask your people, your clients. And if you're a stay-at-home mom or dad, or if you're a teenager, whatever, accessing our intuition is really important, especially in a tumultuous world like we have right now. You'll be seen as a stronger leader, a source of inspiration to help others. That's a big benefit. We kind of seem stuck right now in the world, right? Around leaders. Who is really a strong leader in this world today? And last benefit here, you will feel awesome inside, more peaceful and content because your fears will start to minimize. That's a huge thing when we can start to kick our fears out the door. So you might say, all right, well, how do I train my brain mind to do this? Well, we're going to email to you a Be a Star self-coaching model. And follow it exactly the way we've developed it. And then you can email me to say, wow, I had a breakthrough, or can you answer this question about, I'm open to being a support to you as well. So try the Be a Star self-coaching model. The Brainwalk, A Journey for Peace of Mind, and the Brainwalk Value Amplification. These are available free of charge online. I'm just giving you the free tools here, because remember, I've developed 120 of them, right? And then meditation. All of these will help take you into that happy space. So later I'm going to give you the links for these and just remember that they're going to help you train your brain mind to be a pentalateral thinker. Is that exciting or what? What do you think? Let's move to secret number 2, to train our brain to find solutions fast and be the driver of positive change and growth for self and others. And this is a very interesting one. It's about our agreement in our conscious and subconscious minds. You're thinking, okay, what does that mean? Well, let me tell you. Again, we have a conscious mind, subconscious mind, and a superconscious mind. And it's very important for us to understand the text on the right-hand side of the slide, that a belief in our conscious mind must be congruent with that same belief in our subconscious mind. In other words, they must agree. Only then can we move forward in a sustainable way. Example, this gentleman came to me. I won't describe his profession or anything like that. I don't want to give him away in case he happens to listen to this. But he came to interview me. And then when he found out what we did, he said, "Can I book a private session with you?" I said, "Sure." So he came, and he, with his heart wide open, and he's just a young person in his mid-20s, he said, "Betska, I'm severely addicted to marijuana, and very addicted, I can tell you." And so we did just one mind kinetics session, and his addiction disappeared. One session, severely addicted. And I get these tough clients all the time because I've got the tools, right? And he called me yesterday to interview me again. And he said, "Betska, I want you to know I'm still clean for 6 months." I said, "Bravo, good for you." So how did we do that? Well, the beliefs in his subconscious mind about loving self, about being strong without drugs, had to be congruent with his conscious mind. Another example is of a salesperson. A salesperson might say, okay, my boss has given me a forecast of $5 million in sales for this year. And the conscious mind says, yeah, I can do it. The ego says, yeah, I can do it. But when we take that salesperson into their subconscious mind, you know what the subconscious mind is saying? No, you don't. No, you don't. Yak, yak, yak. You don't trust yourself. You don't trust your customer service team. Your products are lousy. The competition is better than you are, etc. So I guarantee you that if your subconscious mind doesn't believe that you can achieve that sales number, you're not going to do it. So this is what I mean. Our beliefs in our conscious mind must shake hands and have the same belief in our subconscious mind. Whoops. The subconscious mind processes some 20 million environmental stimuli per second. Think about that. That's a lot. And the conscious mind processes 40 environmental stimuli per second. So the question is, who's running the show? Very clearly, isn't it? It's the subconscious mind. And how is the subconscious going to manage our affairs? Precisely the way it was programmed. But wait, Betska, how do I find out what my programming is in my subconscious mind? What is negative and what is positive? How do I find that out? Well, that's what I've developed. And in the early days, Janet taught me some as well. I'm very grateful. So I just threw together some belief systems that some of my clients have that I found in their subconscious mind. Maybe some of you will relate to this. Well, 60% of you said, I need to have more faith and confidence. I guarantee you that your beliefs in your subconscious mind are very weak and they're very negative. We need to flip those around. Maybe the second, I don't fully trust my life partner or my children. That could be causing you all kinds of pain. Fourth one down, we already talked about, I lack self-confidence. I'm not compassionate enough. Maybe I am a vegan and I am compassionate towards animals, but I treat people very poorly. I do not love myself enough. I lack courage. I lack patience and tolerance. I'm afraid to admit I'm wrong. I cannot forgive myself easily. I cannot forgive others easily. I want you to know that when my mother passed 3 years ago, she hated me so much that she forbade me to go to her funeral. Some of you might laugh. It may seem a little funny, and it is funny. I mean, she's dead. How could she stop me from going to her funeral? But I had already forgiven her for my abusive childhood. So when this came up, there was a little tweak that I needed to get some coaching on, and I did, and then I threw it out because she didn't know any better. Her consciousness was very low. So when you don't know any better, you do stupid things, can do stupid things. I believe dishonesty is a good trait. I lack joy and enthusiasm. I forget to give thanks to myself and others. I have never felt fully at peace, and I have trouble connecting to God. So these are just a few. Whether it's a life coaching client or a corporate client, I do a lot of coaching of executives around the world. And many of them, this is kind of their profile when they come to me. But we have to find them out. We have to find out what's there, and then also find out their strengths. So if we get agreement between our conscious and subconscious minds, why is this important, and how are you going to benefit? Well, you'll be able to find those blind spots, those fears, walls, roadblocks, blocking your success at home and at work, and get rid of them. Those fears are like big walls, I tell you. I've had so many of them, massive in the subconscious mind. Get rid of the feelings that have been bugging you for years. Understand why you do the things you do, because those belief systems are driving your actions. Kick out your negative beliefs, replace them with positive. In 90 minutes, we can flip a negative belief into a positive one and greatly improve your relationships. This is, I promised you, the secret to positive relationships. You see, if we, for years, when my husband joined, I formed the company, and then my husband joined like 9 years later, and he wanted to revamp the company, so my ego was way out of whack. You want to change my company? Right? My ego was way too fat. So we were coaching each other using mind kinetics to reduce our egos and get rid of our negative beliefs around each other. We were in judgment of each other. So the self-coaching tools I'm going to give you today are going to greatly help you if you've got any challenges with relationships, whether it's a partner, a child, mother, father, siblings, clients, whatever, right? Greatly reduced stress is another benefit. You become fearless. You become hugely more confident. So big benefit to secret number 2. So now you're saying, okay, how do I train my brain to do this, to find those blind spots and unconscious fears and negative beliefs? That Be a Star self-coaching model is awesome for that. The brain walk. Do the brain walk every day. A journey for peace of mind. When you go online, you'll read the story. It was actually George Bush, when he attacked Iraq, that made me so angry that I developed a journey, the brain walk, a journey for peace of mind. So thank you, George Bush, right? Hang out with positive people. This is very important, because if you're hanging out with a lot of negative people, that negativity keeps seeping into your subconscious mind. You got to get rid of those negative people or convince them to be positive. Be careful what you watch, who you listen to, and what you read. You want to keep negative energies away from your own electromagnetic field. So, for example, Supreme Master Television, I mentioned to you, they asked me to do, they developed 2 shows on mind kinetics. And their show is all about constructive television. So that's pretty cool, you know. You go there and you get a lot of positivity. There are radio shows, radio podcasts, and so on. It's everywhere, right? Lots of things that we can do to stay positive. Or if you have to watch, like I have to watch the news because I'm working with executives all the time, right? They expect me to know what's going on in Lebanon or Australia with COVID or Mongolia or whatever, right? But I've learned how to clean my energy field, put barriers around my energy field so that negativity doesn't come in. If you don't know how to do that, ask me. Give gratitude every day is so important to train our brain mind. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's take poll number 2. What's your major takeaway so far? Is it to change your beliefs in your subconscious mind to have a better life? Find to get rid of my blind spots? I can be free of negative thoughts. I can learn to find solutions in my superconscious, or maybe there's something else you've learned. Okay, so we have subconscious, 30%, blind spots, 10, free of negative thoughts. Woo, look at that number, 40%. Great. And find solutions in superconscious, 10%. Okay, cool. I'm going to guess that if many of you had worked on 2 of these, that you would have picked solutions in your superconscious, because that's our ticket to success in the future, right? Thank you for that. That's awesome. Cool. Okay, let's move to secret number 3. How to train our brain to find solutions fast and be the driver of positive change and growth for self and others. It's to acknowledge and amplify strengths of self and others, to acknowledge that we have these amazing strengths and amplify them. Because when we make them stronger, we have a better chance of kicking out the negative. So I misinterpreted how long my presentation was going to be here for today. You will get the slides. So when you get the slides, I'm going to invite you to do this particular exercise and the one following here. Or you could do it in the breakouts as well. What is your number 1 strength? And do it intuitively. The value that is your number 1 strength is going to pop off the screen. So kindness for me is just popping right off, right, for me as my strength. And so some of you just take a real quick moment and see which one pops off the screen for you. I'm only going to give you 5 seconds, so do it quickly. And then write it down. And this can change every day, but it's usually something that's really ingrained. Okay, thank you. Now here's some homework for you. How can you amplify strengths of self and others? So you can use the chart from the previous slide, or if you have an iPad or an iPhone, you can download a free app called CLI Values Cards. All those 76 values are in that app, but on a random type of generator. And it's phenomenal to do these exercises. There are 3 here. I'm just going to talk about number 2. But for homework, I invite you to do all 3. Number 2 is think of a value, so you can pick it from the app, right? Or you can pick it from the chart that you would like to demonstrate at work or at home, such as respect, faith, courage, and then spend your entire day doing things that demonstrate that value to others. It's a great teacher, you know, when we can take that value. It's like in corporate, you know, most corporations have 5 values or more, you know, that they want their employees to exhibit, but they never share with them how they can exhibit them. Well, this is one of those exercises. Yeah, we can do that. So if we amplify our strengths of self and others on a daily basis, why is this important? How will we benefit? Well, if you've had your self-esteem dampened or kicked out, 60% of you said faith and confidence is what you need, and the trauma is 20%. That's 80%, and peace, you know, that's a huge chunk of you are saying that somehow your self-esteem has been dampened and that you need to regain your self-power. So those values in the app or on the chart touch the heart for healing purposes. It will remind you to never give your power away again. They cannot take away our self-esteem unless we give it to them. And lastly, you will remember that we often forget our greatness. It is time to always remember how great we are. You see, we have a soul. Our God self, our soul is perfect. We've just forgotten that it's perfect. And what I'm sharing with you today is how you can tap into that soul, into that God self, into that greatness. So how do I train my brain to do this, my brain mind to do it? Well, Be a Star self-coaching model again, a journey for peace of mind, the brain walk value amplification, those CLI values cards, hang out with positive people, set your personal boundaries. What boundaries do you need to set with people? You know what? When we get married, very rarely do we sit down with our partner and tell them what we expect from them and what we would like to see from them. And John and I did that very early on in our marriage, and thank God we did, because we can't read people's minds, right? We want to know how we can love someone. How do they want to be loved? How do they want to be cherished? How do they want to be respected? And vice versa. And then practice compassion for self, others, and animals. Be vegan. When we are vegan, I'm sure you all know this, that when we, if we stop killing animals, we're going to stop killing people. Who said that? Einstein, Gandhi, somebody, one of those giants said that. So by practicing compassion for self, others, and animals, the best way to do that, or one of the ways to do that, is to be vegan. All right, let's go to secret number 4. Lead with both logic and heart. To lead with both logic and heart means to become a balanced leader at home and at work. Now, as soon as people see the word leader, they want to know what that means. Well, we can be, if we're a stay-at-home mom, we can be a leader in the workplace. If we're a stay-at-home dad, we can be did I say in the workplace? Let me back up. If we're a stay-at-home mother or father, we can be a leader in the home, right? Lead our children, lead each other to be more noble human beings. Same at work. We can be leaders at work. People just think.
Hello, this is Michael. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm just giving you a 5 to 6 minute time warning. Just a time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've got my clock here. I've got 7 minutes. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
So someone who is both, when we're balanced, we're both a task-oriented leader and a people-oriented leader. And here are some major behaviors. Again, you can do this for homework. Task-oriented leaders are logical. They're daring, risk-takers, adventuresome, decisive, inquisitive, self-assured. They're often very demanding. Yeah. But the people-oriented people who come from the heart are trusting, influential, kind, compassionate, generous, charming. Wouldn't it be nice if leaders in the world had a combination of all of these? Well, it rarely happens unless they do the type of mind kinetics work that I'm sharing with you today, right? Very easy to do that, but you have to do the work. So why is this important? Well, if we're using both logic and heart, you will know that your decisions are more sound as they are made with pentalateral thinking, using the whole brain mind. Relax and celebrate your capabilities. You are now a more balanced leader. People will see and feel your great power. Very little is missing. And you can sleep peacefully at night knowing that you are doing the very best job possible. So how do you train your brain mind to do this? Recommendation, do the Wiley Disc Behavioral Assessment to find out what your leading behaviors are. Page 5 of the Wiley, not any old disc behavioral assessment, only the Wiley one that I know of. I use it extensively and have used it for many, many years. It's going to show you, are you arrogant or are you kind? Are you patient or are you demanding? Where are you on the spectrum of logic versus heart? Once you've done that, then you can use the mind kinetic self-coaching tools I'm giving you today to change your behaviors into more positive ones. So the Be a Star self-coaching model and the Brain Walker Journey for Peace of Mind are awesome for that. Make it your intention before you go in and use one of these self-coaching tools that you want. If you come up on the disc that you're highly demanding, that you're arrogant, for example, and you say to yourself, I want to change that, then use these tools to begin that journey. I was a very high D demanding person 30 years ago, and I'm so glad I can still be that person if someone treats me badly. But for the most part, I'm balanced between my logic and heart. Taught myself how to be that way. Secret number 5, last one, is self-coach daily. Very important. Why is this important? How will you benefit? Discover how brilliant you are. You will stream in solutions to challenges and goals just like Einstein did. Kick out those blind spots. Who needs them anyway, right? Awaken your giant and genius within. Your intuition will be blazing. We talked about that, right? And teach your children how to self-coach. Sit down with your children as early as the age of 7, and they can do the brain walk with you online. Save everybody's sanity so that when they get to be teenagers, they're not off doing alcohol, drugs, or whatever. This secret is the key to obtaining the other 4 secrets. So I invite you to really pay attention to it. It's the key to your success. So use the free tools we're offering you here today. If you need support, there's my email address. And how do you self-coach? How do you amplify your strengths? How do you find your blind spots and fears and negative beliefs? Again, There you have it. Be a Star, self-coaching model, the Brainwalk, a journey for peace, value amp, hang out with positive people, set your personal boundaries, practice compassion. And if you are a professional coach, therapist, doctor, etc., beware of energies. When you're working with an individual, I don't care if it's virtual or in person, after you're finished the session, wash your hands with lemon juice and salt. You want to break the psychic energy between you and them, because otherwise you're going to keep their energy in your energy field and it can play havoc. Shake your hands vigorously at least 7 times. Very important. I'm so glad I learned that early on in my career. So to summarize the secrets, number 1, understand the power of the subconscious mind. 2, conscious and subconscious agreement. Amplify your strengths. Become a task and people-oriented leader, and coach and self-coach to connect with your genius within. So here's what we promised you and more. To be a driver of positive change and growth for ourselves and others, we need tools. So we've given you 5 secrets and many tools embedded, ideas embedded in there. We're going to email you the free, first free tool, which is the Be a Star self-coaching model. Use it for anything. Coach yourself to find your blind spots. And I give you tips in there so you can do it on yourself. Plus, whenever you need to kick out your fears, find your blind spots, turn those negative beliefs into positive ones, visit www.thebrainwalk.com. It's our free self-coaching site, and experience the Brainwalk. At thebrainwalk.com, there are 2 methods. One of them is a journey for peace of mind, and the other one is value amplification to raise your self-confidence, which you told me, your faith and confidence in yourself. Please do it. And then the ones on the Apple Store, oh, I'm still coming to that. You can download apps on the Apple Store. The Selling Guru, I think, is 99 cents. If you're in your own business, you want to eliminate your sales roadblocks, right? Go in there, do the Selling Guru. 99 cents? Wow. The Brainwalk app, it's $4.99. It won't break the bank, but it's a cool one. It's different from the one that's at www.thebrainwalk.com. I made it really fancy with elephants and flowers and peacocks, and it's beautiful. And then here's that for iPhone and iPad, the Values Cards app. It's free. Connect with your values daily. This is my latest book. I've written many. This is The God in Coaching, The Key to a Happy Life. Notice the sentence at the bottom: when science and spirit merge in the coaching process, miracles happen. You see, when we're self-coaching or we're coaching others, we often miss the spiritual element. To me, it's the most important. That's why that one gentleman I told you about quit marijuana in one session. It's because we helped him tap into his spirit. Inner peace brings world peace. Now, for those of you, and Michael, I have just 30 more seconds here. For those of you who wish to learn more self-coaching tools and be empowered and be unshakable and align with your noble core values and activate more of that whole brain brilliance, we've given you a lot here today, but we have a special program for women starting September the 10th. It's called Women Rise and Lead Base Camp. And you're going to be able to get through your tougher stuff with a group of powerful, like-minded women. There's the link. And as a guest today, if you sign up before August 21st, you get a 10% discount. And the promo code is I love me 10. You will walk away feeling like this woman here. I guarantee it. So last poll. What is your commitment to yourself right now? Is it to heal your heart with pentalateral thinking? Is it to magnify your strengths? Is it to use subconscious tools to find peace? Is it to seek more positive relationships? Or maybe it's in that other category. What's your commitment to yourself today? Wow, very interesting. You can see seek more positive relationship is at 30%, right? Heal my heart, 20, magnify my strengths, subconscious tools, and there's something in the other category. So coaches who are going into the separate rooms, you may want to have a discussion about what is in that other category. Thank you. All right, so time for questions. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen.
Betska, that was great. We're going to open up for questions now. We were going to read from the chat, but we're going to allow people to just kind of unmute themselves and work with each other, and go ahead and you can ask in voice. So please, whoever wants to start, go ahead.
So this is Petra. I have a quick question. You mentioned kids in the brain walk, and it's very astonishing to me as a mother of a 4 and a 5 and a 7-year-old almost. What else do I do other than the brain walk that you mentioned to induce self-coaching habits in children? I have two of the very opposite spectrum, one very empathetic, the other one a kind force of nature. So I would love to do better in inducing self-coaching or awareness, which I might already have, but what are your tips?
There are many answers to that question. I'm just going to give you one that I think is the most important one, Petra. And that is work on yourself. Because when children are like sponges, they emulate their parents, right? And so the more you can work on yourself, the more you can get rid of your negative thoughts, the more you can change your beliefs into positive ones, right? You got it? Yes. They pick up on that energy. And I always say to our daughter, I am so glad I got rid of all of my negative beliefs and patterns from my abusive childhood, because she never got any of them, because I had cleaned up most of them. And then, maybe as a teenager, I was still cleaning up some, but by then the majority of them had been kicked out. So work on yourself, and if you have a husband or a partner, get him to work on it too. No excuses. Both parties need to work on it. I'm a tough coach.
I was afraid of that answer. I thought, thank you though.
But it makes sense, right? Does it make sense?
I think I had that intuitively in me. I wanted a different answer, but I understand that is the right answer.
Because when you think about it, we all have electromagnetic fields, right? Mm-hmm. And so the children can feel if we're feeling peaceful, if we're feeling happy. The dog can feel it, right? Our animals can feel, our birds, So we need to turn our auras into beautiful, glowing, pink auras. When I'm coaching people, with the auras they come in with, they're usually black or brown or red or orange, very low frequency. By the time I'm finished the session, they have beautiful colors around them, pink and purple, green, blue.
What age do you think coaching sessions for kids would be a good idea? At what age?
7 is a good age. But I'll tell you a cute story. One of our students from Shanghai, China, came from Shanghai to Vancouver Island to study with us. And he was talking about his 3-year-old son that was having tantrum after tantrum. And he said, Betska, what am I going to do about this? And well, there were many reasons why the child was having a tantrum. A, because his father was never home, right? Important for the parents to be there for their children. But what I got him to do was I said, when your child has a tantrum, I'm going to invite you to get him to walk the brainwalk map. Do I have a map handy? I can get it if you want. It's a colored map. It actually, the brainwalk, and I didn't tell you this, simulates how Einstein used to think. So it goes into the subconscious mind and kicks out the negative, replaces it with positive, and within a few minutes you can stream in solutions. So he got his 3-year-old just to walk the brainwalk map, and the kid calmed right down. So try it. But at 7, you can sit with your child and do the brainwalk online. When the values pop up, like, here are the values cards. It'd be good if all of you had paper cards as well. We love these. We raised our child with these values cards. And, at dinner time, you could each pick a value of intuitively pick a value that you brought to school today, right? Or to your teacher today, whatever. Like I just picked beauty. I brought beauty to you folks here today, right? and it teaches them values. When the children connect with their values, their heart expands and they become more loving, more kind, more compassionate. Make sense, Petra? Yeah. Okay, I could go on forever about kids. And if you, I'd be happy to spend time with you another day on how to use those cards with your children, because I think I put it in my book, The God in Coaching. I think it's in there. I couldn't put everything in there, but anyway, okay. More questions, more comments.
What did you mean when you said meditate under a fully enlightened master?
Oh yeah, very important. I kind of whizzed through that, didn't I? Kind of whipped through it. If we need our teeth fixed, we go and see a live dentist. If we need to have a knee replacement, we go and see a live doctor, a live orthopedic surgeon. In order to fully connect with our God self, it's important for us to have a fully enlightened teacher. Someone who is already fully enlightened, who's hit that 5th level. The 5th level is the Buddha level, where Christ and Mohammed and all the Sikh gurus and all of the fully enlightened masters, that's their home. They can go higher. And because those teachers have already been there, they can help you on the inside. That's how I tell you, the best gift I gave myself was to study under a fully enlightened master. Would you like a couple names of ones to look up? Anybody?
Yes, I would love some names.
Okay. So SOS.org, easy to remember, right? SOS.org. And the master there, it's a male. He's from India, but his English is awesome. He's got great videos. And what I like about his process is that right on his website, he teaches you how to do a 30-minute meditation. And of course, as soon as you start learning it, he's helping you on the inside. That's the beauty of it, right? And then afterwards, if you want to learn more, then you can learn the 2.5-hour one. And then the other one is the one that my teacher is Supreme Master Ching Hai, and her website is godsdirectcontact.org. godsdirectcontact.org. And she's originally from Vietnam, and very popular in Asia, massive following in Asia, all around the world, ashrams all around the world. I mean, the last time I went to meditate with her, there were 40,000 people there. You know, it's just, she's incredible. So you may prefer a woman versus a guy. I've just given you a couple. Those are the two that I know for sure are fully enlightened. Yeah, they can guide you to the top. I don't get that question too often. Thank you.
One of the last slides about shaking hands vigorously greater than 7 times.
Yeah.
Is that with somebody or washing hands? I didn't quite get that.
Okay, thank you for asking. I kind of whipped through that as well. I was watching my clock. If you are a professional and you are coaching people, or you are, a doctor, dentist, whatever, we can take on the energies. Therapists find this quite a bit, right? They're busy asking their clients about their patients, about, what's going on in their lives and the sadness in their lives or the joy in their lives, whatever. And if you aren't aware, you don't know how to protect your energy field. So you can take on people's energies. So those of you who are coaches might know what I'm talking about. You might coach someone in the morning and you're still thinking about them in the afternoon, right? Do I see some heads nodding, those of you who are coaches? Yeah, you're still in their electromagnetic field. You have to cut the electromagnetic field, because otherwise their energy could make you sick. So there are many ways to do that. In my book, there's a whole section on caring for the coach. I think it's like 8 pages or something. There's a lot there, but a few tips. once you have finished coaching them, and this could also happen if you're going to visit some relatives and you feel there's a lot of negativity there, and you go, what's going on here, right? When you get home, take some lemon juice, squeeze a lemon, put some sea salt or Epsom salt, sea salt better, rub your hands like this, right? And then run them under water and shake your hands vigorously 7 times at least. Sometimes I have to do it 15 times if I'm working with people with addictions or heavy abuse issues, right? Because the lemon and the salt will break the psychic connection between you and your clients. Please, everybody do that. It's very important if you're any kind of a professional or you're experiencing negativity. You know, right now, with COVID, you go to the supermarket. I mean, Beatrice was telling me that she went trying to go to the supermarket. No one was wearing masks. Holy cow, you know? Like you think, what's going on? And so there's so much confusion, so much negativity, and you could walk home with that, and it could affect. My husband came home the other day. He was shopping, and he's such a kind, beautiful person. And his attitude was just like, oh my God, yuck, right? So I knew he picked up some energy somewhere. So cut. When you're watching TV or reading, you're watching the news online, all that negativity, right? Or you're reading the news on your news app or whatever, shield yourself, you know, put a shield of love, of pink, a color around you so that you're not taking in that negative energy, because it can affect you. You want to keep your electromagnetic field as pure as possible, because as individuals, we have our own stuff. Who wants to take on the stuff of others, right? Once a week, have a bath with Epsom salts and lemon. I save, another one is make sure you are, every day you're drinking half of a lemon, right? Juice I use with COVID, very important, right? Especially if you get a sore throat, slice up some ginger, put in lemon juice, this much hot water, and drink it. And I guarantee you your sore throat's going to go away, unless it's something severe. But there's so much energy out there. We need to keep ourselves clean. That bath once a week, getting over to that, once a week we must have a bath, because no matter what you do during the week, you know, the shaking and the drinking of the lemon juice and all that, some of those energies can still stick in our liver and in our kidneys in particular. The spleen takes on, I can't tell you how many people I've worked with where these dark energies are stuck in their spleen. It's the first place where the energies enter the body is through the spleen and the stomach. So we have to kick it out. Woo, lots. Lots of answers. Okay.
Wow, Betska, thank you so much on behalf of everyone here tonight. This is just enlightening and fascinating, and what a presentation. We appreciate that you have taken the time to do this tonight for the coaching support group for us. And it's just very inspirational. Thank you again. I sure will reach out. With that being said, let's take a 1-minute break and have Beatrice move people into breakout rooms. And then just beforehand, we just resume and talk about the breakout rooms a little bit, and then we get moving. And thank you again. Wonderful.
You're very welcome. Michael, the name of my book is The God in Coaching. And the link will be on the slides when you get the slides. Yeah, the link is there. Okay. See you guys in 1 minute.
Yep. Thanks, Betska. Yeah. 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay.